Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Bullet Sponge Brews. My name is Wilson, and today what we are doing is we're doing another liquid death mead. This time we're going to do a mixed berry mead, but instead of using the Dead Billionaire like we used in our Palmer mead, we are going to be using the Slaughterberry mead. I'm trying real hard to get some of that liquid death money. I'm kidding. I actually just really like their product, and this is something that really interested in me. So what we've got today is we've got 5 cans of Slaughterberry liquid death. I've got 2 pounds of just mixed berries from the freezer, the frozen food section. It's got blackberries, blueberries, strawberries, and raspberries. Threw those on the stove, mashed them up, broke them down a little bit, got a nice little juice. I'm going to add roughly 2 pounds of honey. And then we've got our little standard boosters that we've got. We've got yeast nutrient, which I have already added into the yeast with a little bit of the mixed berry juice to try to get the yeast going. We've got pectic enzyme to help get rid of that pectic haze that's going to be in there. And then, because we are going to be checking our pH, just in case we need to bring that pH down, we've also got some tartaric acid. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and just get into it. Once again, I know I said it once and I've said it every video, but everything here has been sanitized. We're going to go ahead and do the honey first. Like I said, this is roughly 2 pounds of honey. This is all the honey that was left from when we back sweetened in our other video. If you haven't watched that yet, go ahead and check it out. I did have a guest on there with me. We tasted the meads, and we just added honey to them to sweeten them up, and now we're letting them sit, letting them get better. Also, we're letting them clear. I'm debating on whether I want to add a little bit of liquid to this to try to break up some more of this honey, or if I'm just going to say screw it, because every time I attempt to shake it up, the lids don't seal properly and I get honey water everywhere, which, I mean, honestly, my dogs probably enjoy. I mean, it looks like it's sealed. Screw it. Just add a little bit of the liquid death in there. Ugh. And now it won't just be honey water, it'll be honey liquid death tea. It's not leaking, thank God. Now it's leaking, so I guess we're done with that. Now, instead of going ahead and adding the fruit, right now I'm just going to add some more of the tea. I want to get this about half full, try to mix it up a little bit, get the tea incorporated in there, and then kind of just go from there. So that's 1 can. Two. And we will go ahead and add a third. We'll call that good for now. Go ahead and get our spoon. It's just sitting in our juice, and we're going to go ahead and mix that up. And once again, not only is this helping us incorporate the honey into the liquid, it's also helping us oxygenate it. We do want to get oxygen down in there because that is going to help the start of the ferment. It's once we do have a finished product, that's when we don't want any oxygen to get in there. Just checking on my yeast. Now, because we are using fruit, we are using the largemouth container. Once again, if you're going to be doing melomels or anything that has chunks of fruit or anything like that, it is better to use it in a or do it in a bucket. However, because we are on this journey together, I am using the clear vessels. This way, we can see what's going on. Now, what's going to end up happening is when this is finished between the lees and the fruit cap, we're not going to quite have a gallon. So we're just going to go ahead and use liquid death tea to kind of add back into it to give us that full gallon, which will give us a little bit more sugar like it did in the blueberry pomegranate. I think the blueberry pomegranate gave us an additional 22 points of gravity. I'm just waiting until next week to see if it is done fermenting, and then if it's done fermenting, we will stabilize it and back sweeten it. All right, let's see. All right, I believe we got that. We're going to go ahead and add our fruit now. Like I said, this is just 2 pounds of mixed berries that just came from the frozen food section at Walmart. And I put it in a cup to hopefully not make a mess, and it's just splashing everywhere. So I guess I screwed that up. One of these days I'll figure it out. Unfortunately, today is not that day. Now, because we are also adding fruit into this, we're not going to put an airlock on it. We're just going to run it directly into a blow-off tube. I don't have any other meads right now that require a blow-off tube. And I'm not predicting that, at least within the next couple days, I'm going to be transferring into secondary or doing anything like that. So, just going to use my tubing. I'll probably eventually invest in some additional tubing. But for right now, we're just going to use what we got. All right. Ooh, get off there. And all right, now because there's fruit in here, we are going to be adding pectic enzyme. It's going to help break down the pectin, get rid of the pectic haze, and it's also going to turn the pectin into a fermentable sugar. So it's going to give us a little bit more sugar, or at least that's what I have read online. And as we all know, you can trust everything that you read on the internet because science. All right. So we did half a teaspoon of pectic enzyme. Once again, we're just following the directions on the bag. We're going to go ahead and mix this in there too. Oh. Now we're going to be doing this one next week. Next week we've got another mead planned, and that's going to be our last mead of the year. Depending on if I can get more vessels in a timely manner, it might be my last mead for a while because next week that'll be 6 meads that I'm running simultaneously. So until I can either A, get more vessels, or B, get my meads to a point where they are able to be bottled, that might be the last mead I make for a little while, but as soon as I get more vessels or stuff clears up, we'll definitely get back into making more and more meads. All right. Now what we're going to do is we're going to check our pH. Remember, botulism is a thing. Botulism does live in honey. We just want to make sure that we're not allowing any botulism to grow. We don't want to make anybody sick. If I can just get this test strip out of here. Screw it. If I use more than one, I use more than one. I've got like 6.3 billion of them. Put that in there. Try to get apparently a berry stuck in it. I can't get past the fruit cap. There we go. Just throw a few drops on there. And we want this to be below a 5. We want this to be roughly at a 4. And I don't know how well you guys can see this, but we're roughly in between a 3 and a 4. So we're good. We don't have to add any tartaric acid to balance the acid. And I definitely don't want to add more acid into it just because I don't want to run the risk of the pH getting too low. So, and we're going to go ahead and mix up our yeast real quick. And we're going to go ahead and get that in there. All right, and we're going to give this another quick stir. Make sure those yeast get fully incorporated in there. All right, and I am writing down the recipes as I go. So this way, if it's a recipe I like, I've got the exact notes that I need to make it. Like with the blueberry pomegranate mead, I'm going to be doing that one again, but instead of doing a 1 gallon batch, I want to do a 5 gallon batch. I think that one's turned out quite well. So what is today's date? Today is the 20th. So 20th of December. And I also write down what date it started and what the starting gravity is. So we've got our graduated cylinder, we've got our hydrometer, both have been sanitized, and we're just going to get in there. Maybe. I think this is going to be another one that's going to have a really pretty color. Man, really got to get past all those fruity bits. And I think this one we did a pretty good job of, because we didn't just blow it off the charts like we did the last two with both the pineapple jalapeno and the cinnamon brown sugar. Because it looks like we are got a little bit of foam on the top, so it's kind of difficult to see. Right where the white turns into red, which is 0.096. That is not high at all. Or one, I apologize, a 1.096. Yeah, 1.096. Which means that this is going to be less than, well, pretty much all of them except the pineapple jalapeno. The pineapple jalapeno is right around 11%. So, do I want to add more? No, I think I'm going to leave that just there. I want to leave a little bit of headspace, give our blow-off tube a fighting chance. So, what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to take a quick break. I'm going to get all this stuff cleaned up. I'm going to do the math, and I will be right back with our ABV reading. So, give me just a minute, and I'll be back.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for your patience. So, did the math, and it looks like with a 1.096 starting gravity, our liquid death mixed berry mead is going to be roughly 12.6%. I don't know if I want to keep it there or if I might want to push for a little higher ABV. What is probably going to end up happening is once we take it off the fruit cap and we take it off the leaves, we're going to have a bit of space left in it. And at that point, we're going to add more liquid death tea. Liquid death tea does have a little bit of sugar in it. So it's going to probably give us more fermentable sugar. I'm probably just going to let that go. We'll ferment this dry after we add the additional liquid death. And whatever that is where we are going to keep it. So it's probably going to be about 13% ABV overall. At that point, once it's done fermenting, we will stabilize it, and then we will go ahead and back sweeten it. Also, something that I forgot to mention is the yeast that we are using is Lalvin EC1118. Like I said, I've got a whole bunch of it, so we're gonna keep using it, and then we'll go from there. If you guys have any ideas for other yeasts you would like me to try, go ahead and leave a comment go ahead and leave a comment below. Um, I've been doing research on yeast to use. There are a couple that I do want to check out. But if you guys have any experience with different kinds of yeast, or if you want to use, or you would like to see me use any different yeast, let me know in the comments below. I do want to thank you guys for coming out. I do feel like this video is going to be a little shorter than they normally are, but I think that's mainly because I'm kind of getting the hang of things. I'm finding my flow, and I'm getting better at speaking with all of this. So I do want to thank every single one of you guys for coming out. My name is Wilson. This is Bullet Sponge Brews, and this is our Liquid Death Mixed Berry Mead. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. Have a great night. We'll catch you next time.